Oh, hello. Hello there, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Oh, I like that, Doug. I like that little dance you're doing. It's good stuff. It's
Sorry,
good stuff. No.
I fell asleep during that dance, so I didn't mean to do that.
Oh, you just
My
completely
dance was so
blacked out.
boring.
Doug's just completely blacking out. But yes, hello everyone. Welcome to Chatting with this guy. This guy right here. The runaway star of Smiling Friends. No, I'm just kidding.
Really? It's Daniel now. I only go by Daniel.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't get that memo. Daniel. No, just kidding.
It was all like that throughout the shoot. I mean, nobody else shot it but me, but I still stayed in character the whole time. I would tell myself to call myself Daniel. Today. I was very harsh on myself, so.
Oh, you're so brave for that, Doug. You're
I am.
So brave. You're so brave. I'm sorry. It always makes me laugh when people talk about actors like that. Like, oh my God, you're so brave for doing it like that.
I love when you use the word brave wrong. Like what you were just doing. I love that. Before it got annoying, and I'm kind of like, actually, I'm kind of loving it more and more. There's people that survive so many things. And it's just like, nah, man, you stayed in character the whole time. That's brave. That's brave. You know it, everyone around you. That's brave.
Amazing. Well, welcome everyone. I see over on Twitch that we are already on a level 5 hype train. So thank you for that. And YouTube, I see you too bringing in all these super chats. I almost called them hype chats, but you know.
That's kind of a cool name. They ought to adapt that.
Well, when Twitch did at one point attempts to have super chats, and they called them hype chats. That's what they were called.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, where you could do like the dollar stuff instead of bits. It was a whole thing. Thing. Anyway, speaking of a whole thing, let's get through all these rules so that we can do this whole thing. You know? First and foremost here, we give priority to the bit messages and the super chats, since that is some real world money spent. Towards the end of stream, sometimes we have a chance to look at regular questions in the YouTube chat or highlighted questions on Twitch, but we cannot guarantee that we're going to necessarily see those. Also, on the YouTube side of things, we prioritize super chats that are $5 and over. If you give less than $5, of course, we're still going to say thank you. But if we have time at the end of stream, then we will go back and check that out. Please watch the length of your questions. The longer it is, the faster I have to read it, the more likely it is that we're going to completely lose the point, and there's nothing we can do about it. So just short and to the point is better. Okay. Do not repeat yourself over and over again in chat. Almost forgot that one. You can get timed out or even banned if you're going to continuously do that. On the YouTube side of things, I know sometimes this is not usual, but we do have a list of all the super chats. So you don't have to give a super chat again if it gets unpinned from the top. I've got a list. We'll get to it. We can get sometimes up to like an hour behind. We will get to it, and we appreciate your patience. Okay. Also with the length thing, I guess, if you have to break your question up into multiple parts, please limit it to 3 maximum. Again, same kind of thing happens. We lose the point and we don't have time to figure out, wait, what were you talking about 7 messages ago? So 3 is just at the very most. 1 to 2 is much more, desirable. Please, no spoilers. Not everyone has had a chance to see the latest and greatest. I haven't watched this week's Doctor Who or any of the Acolyte, so just don't chat, okay? I heard this week's Doctor Who is really good. So I'm really excited about that. I gotta get to it. I feel like I've missed something, but I can't think of what it is because I did it very out of order.
Oh, maybe don't ask like one question per bit message.
Thank you. That's a fairly new one. Thank you, Doug. You're great. You're awesome, Doug.
You're great. Oh my God.
Yeah, that kind of goes along with the length one. If you Well, words. Okay, both of us are going to be struggling for words today, Doug. Amazing. Please limit yourself to one question per bit message or super chat. It just doesn't feel fair if you're like, all right, hi, I have 4 questions. If you do that, hi, I said do. If you do that, I reserve the right to just read the first question, and that's that. Sorry. One question per bit message or super chat, please. Okay? Great.
Think we good?
Awesome. Wonderful. Okay. All right, that Disney nerd, thank you for the 500 bits. Good evening, Duggar Pan, and Return to Heatherland. How are you guys?
Ooh, that was good.
I know, right? Those are really good. Have you... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, just good. That's all I had.
Have you heard Pixar's considering rebooting The Incredibles and Finding Nemo? Oh, boy.
Rebooting? I mean, what does that mean in this sense?
I don't even know.
I mean, I guess Incredibles has other heroes, but I mean, I feel like the family are the ones we want to, keep track of. And same thing with Finding Nemo. I mean, I guess we follow Dory, but I mean, like, who outside of that would we really want to find? I mean, the sharks, maybe, and even then, that's a big maybe.
Yeah. Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. What are your thoughts on Will Ferrell's cameo in Wedding Crashers?
Oh, I thought it was funny. That was definitely back when he was in a movie. It upped it, like made it better kind of thing. And now he's like the part in Barbie and everybody says, yeah, you can leave that out.
Dragon's Toy, thank you so much for that 50-month subscription over on Twitch. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Hello, lovely people. Hope everyone is having a great night. 50 months, baby. Indeed.
Congrats.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Hope everyone is doing. Doug, did you pick up the Star Trek Next Generation Blu-ray set? And when is your next members only stream?
It's this month. We should do them the last Tuesday of the month, right?
Yeah, it's a part of like our streaming schedule. So like this week was supposed to be a Tournament Tuesday. So I think it will be on the 25th, but don't quote me on that until we confirm.
And in turn, did I get the Blu-ray of Next Gen? No, because it's usually streaming somewhere. And I hate to say it, I have seen so many of them so many times. I feel like I'm good, like in the best way. Like I really have like the best moments kind of committed to memory. When they were on Netflix, my wife really got into them again, so we started rewatching them. So they're still pretty fresh in my mind.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen the film Fighting with My Family? It stars Florence Pugh and Vince Vaughn, both of whom give excellent performances, heartfelt and very funny. I'd highly recommend.
Pretty sure I have. That's the rest of it. Fighting with My Family. Yes, it was very good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And it's really cool that it was based on a true story. I mean, cool slash both kind of inspiring, but kind of sad at the same time. But I thought it was a very good film.
Oiram, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey, Doug, you ever going to review Rugrats in Paris? It is certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Just curious to see if you disagree.
Maybe that and the Wild Thornberrys movie. I guess a lot of people have been asking me to do. I've never seen the show, but I hear you don't have to see the show. So I might do that.
M. Tapid, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey, Doug, I thought of you this past Friday and Saturday because not only was I able to go to the Disney 100 exhibition in Kansas City, but also the Disney Hometown Museum in Marceline, Missouri. Both were fantastic.
Oh, cool. I went to... where was it? I'm blank. Oh, in San Francisco, they had a Disney museum there. And it just looked like a tiny little place kind of in the middle of nowhere. And we walked in just thinking like, oh, okay, they're going to have like a few scripts or something. But you go in, it has like all the Oscars and everything right there in the front. It's like, whoa. And then you take an elevator down and it's like this whole like, I mean, really like a legit museum with all these cool designs and everything. It's just all underground. And we're just like, whoa. And we didn't see like any ads for it or anything. I think we just stumbled across it like on our phone or something. So it's like, maybe it's becoming more well known, but it was like kind of a little secret there. Like a lot of people didn't know about it. And it was really, really cool. They have like the first drawing of like Mickey Mouse, like ever done.
Nice.
Like it's really freaking cool.
Oiram, thank you for the 500 bits. Did I mention Rugrats 2 features Tim Curry as a sumo wrestler and God on high treasure to the entire world and whatever parts of the universe are left undiscovered, Mako?
I did not know that. I mean, they're together in a movie at last. I won't lie, that does make me want to see it more, so I will keep that in mind.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. How would you rate these Disney afternoon shows? Gummy Bears, DuckTales, Chip and Dale. Oh goodness, it keeps going. Okay, wait. Gummy Bears, DuckTales, Chip and Dale, Tailspin, Darkwing Duck, Gargoyles.
Good
Maybe
Lord.
just your top three there.
Yeah, probably Gargoyles, DuckTales, and Darkwing Duck. That sounds right.
All right. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. I just read that. Sorry about that. Ooh, Jeremiah, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead? Can't believe it got a black remake.
It's funny. I saw it maybe like 4 years ago. It was streaming somewhere, and I was like, this movie looks stupid. I never saw it, but we were kind of in the mood just to watch something dumb and light, so we put it on. It was not at all what we thought it was about. We thought it was about the babysitter's den, so let's throw a party, like house party or something like that. And it's about like the girl has to go and get a job, and it's like following her at her job, and she's like trying to be a professional like businesswoman, but like it's like a real coming of age story. And we were like, what is this? Like, it was really, really bizarre. We didn't finish it because it was actually really boring, which you wouldn't think would be the case with that. But you expect it to be dumb, but not boring. And I never, ever finished it because it wasn't at all what it was advertised.
I was frozen today.
Godzilla fan, thank you for the 500 bits. If you had an unlimited budget to make a movie adaptation of an old cartoon, what would it be? I would do Thundar the Barbarian or the Centurions.
I mean, I hear they're doing this, but I think a live-action Thundercats movie would be pretty cool. But I mean, like, really make it like, just go all out and really make it like the show. Make it like the movie that happens after they defeat Mum-Ra. But Mum-Ra comes back, the dead speak. I don't know, maybe don't go that route. But you know what I mean? Like, really have fun with it. Go really big and bombastic, but silly, too. I think that'd be cool.
Deb the Wiser, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen Gattaca 1997? And if so, what are your thoughts?
Oh, yeah. I really liked it. I don't think... So it was weird. When it came out, people were really obsessed with it. Like, it'll blow your mind. It'll just, wow. And it's like, I don't know if it quite went that far, but to some degree, it was a little ahead of its time. But just it's an overall good story, and good idea and everything. It's a touch dry. Everyone just talks a little too computery, but I know that's kind of the point as well. I thought the whole thing with like the swimming and looking at the sun, all that stuff really gave it a good humanity. But I remember enjoying it.
Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. For someone who wished Galaxy Quest was more mean-spirited and cynical, I'm surprised you don't like The Office. The show has both despicable and greedy people.
Yeah, but they're it's maybe I have to see the British version because I feel like that might be more my cup of tea. See what I did there? But because I feel like it's a good show. I'm not gonna say it's bad. The main characters they're just a little too annoying for me. They're a little too one note, and I hate that romance so much. I mean, that is the type of romance. If you were to say, what's the type of romance, the love triangle, all that stuff that just drives you the most insane, you can't stand that one. Like, that's the kind of stuff I cannot stand over the course of a show. Because, again, they're acting like you've just never seen this before. And, whoa, are they going to get together? Like, no, just either make it funny or throw in some real good twists and turns, with it, like make it really believable. But if you're just gonna do the same thing with it, like do something different. And also that actor's fine. Was it John Krasinski? Is that Krasinski? But if he looks at the camera one more time, I'm gonna like punch the TV, man. But it is a good show. I'm not gonna say it's bad. It's just it has a lot of stuff that just personally irks me.
BR37, thank you for the £5 super chat. Doug, have you seen Dairy Girls? It's such a great feel-good comedy and also teaches you a lot about the troubles in Ireland in the 90s.
Yeah, I think I saw at least the first season. I want to say I saw the second season. I might not have.
Okay.
But it was very good. As someone who does not know a ton about like Ireland, Northern Ireland, all that stuff. The history. I thought was very fascinating because I'm watching like legit, not knowing what's gonna happen.
Oi Ram, thank you for the 500 bits. Doug, what do you think of mascot horror games? You know of FNAF, Five Nights at Freddy's, but how about Bendy and the Ink Machine, Poppy Playtime / Smiling Critters, and Indigo Park?
I did see a little bit of the Ink Machine one, which was kind of cool. I mean, obviously, as a guy called Nostalgia Critic, I'm gonna like that kind of stuff. But I don't, like I know a lot of people obsess over Five Nights at Freddy's, and I mean, it's fair they get into it and everything. I don't quite obsess over it. Like I played the game, I really liked it, but I can't remember how far I got. And it's like I saw it, I had a good laugh. Oh, that's cool, and I just move on to the next thing. So I think that's where I usually lie with that stuff. It's like I see it, I like it, but it's very rare that I'll go back and play something over there. I mean, a lot of it is I just don't have time to go back and play it again.
Chase, thank you for the $10 super chat. To avoid copyright claiming reviewing of Six Flag commercials, just dub over with your own music. Robot Chicken did that in their Six Flags skit, and you did that for Death Wolf Megan Dance in Puss in Boots review.
Yeah. I guess I could.
Yeah, but it's such an iconic part of the commercial.
I was thinking that, and then I'm also thinking you're gonna miss if they said anything over the commercial itself. Because here's the thing: when you take that out, all it is this guy dancing, which I can say a few things about, but I also give commentary throughout the commercials. I talk about stuff that they say, which I mean, I know you could be saying like, well, what are they gonna say in there? That's so important. It's like you'd be surprised at where you can get little jokes and stuff like that. So we'll see. I'll try to look over a couple this year and see if it makes sense. Like if I could do that, we could still get some material out of it.
Jimmy, thank you for the $5 super chat. I'm trying to write the greatest animated show ever, but keep stealing Avatar plot beats without trying. Any advice for being more creative and original?
Don't write the greatest or the most amazing or the first or the blah blah blah. Just write good, write interesting. Just be honest, with your characters, and if you find them interesting and you run across other people and they find it interesting, then you're on the right track. Not everything has to be the next great American novel. You know what I mean? And sometimes I feel like people get too bogged down with that, or their world building, or their cinematic universes and stuff like that. It's like, no, just tell a good story. I feel like sometimes that's enough. Sometimes even just a good story, when done the right way, can be a great story.
Right, because like at the end of the day, there's so many things that are just another retelling of the quote unquote hero's journey. But that's just what happens sometimes,
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that you're unoriginal and terrible. Just bring something different to the table.
Yeah, I think that's something they say a lot, that there's something like only 5 original stories that are just retold in different ways, or combined or redone or whatever. That's always kind of the cliche. And I forget what those 5 stories are. But yeah, it's like to some extent, they are right. But that's fine. Just do something a little different with them, or just interesting about it. Bring something new to the table. Everything doesn't have to be brand new.
89 Sigma, thank you for the $5 super chat. Mr. Walker, I wanted to ask you, do you believe that Tom Holland working with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in No Way Home was a big honor?
You'd have to ask him. I have no idea. Sometimes when actors get together, it's just like, oh my, in Dante Bosco's book, he was talking about working with Mark Hamill, and he was just like, oh my God, like Luke Skywalker, there he is, and say, it's this great thing. But then you also hear stories about actors meeting up, and you think, oh my God, they get along, and they hated each other. Who knows? I'll say this. I mean, when you look at behind the scenes footage and pictures and stuff, it looks like they're having a good time and they have great chemistry off each other. But in terms of do you think he thought it was a great honor? I have no idea.
Oh, crazy guy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, if you could put Chester A. Bum into any movie, which would it be, and how would he affect the plot?
The wrestler. I don't know. He's like, I used to be something. I used to be. They made video games out of me, and I was amazing. I don't know. He would just match that pretty well, because he's already not doing well. It's just the idea of him. I could see him like really built with like, the hat and the long hair and stuff like that. They call him the bum when he comes out. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that one.
Too bad Waluigi time. Thank you for the £5 super chat. You've mentioned in a stream 2 weeks ago that everything went wrong with Pop Quiz Hotshot. What specifically?
The sound was the biggie.
It was terrible.
Yeah, so I'll say this. I came in later. I know that Rob and Jim were handling a lot of it, and they were doing a bunch of different tests and stuff like that, and that was a big thing. And we had a professional sound guy that worked on all sorts of different like productions and stuff like that. And we still see him every once in a while. And I think he was telling us like, I've never had a place like this where the sound would just constantly get staticky or die or not work out. I mean, just that was the major issue. Heather was even saying,
yeah, because a lot of the set for Awesome Comics, which was the first Channel Awesome show that I was ever on, was reused from Pop Quiz Hotshot. And sound was always an issue. It was awful.
Yeah, so I know that was the major one. There were other little things like people showing up, getting everyone, together on time. I mean, a lot of people we had to bring in from out of town, and it was getting schedules and stuff. But when it finally started getting going, when I came in and tried to host it and stuff like that, like it was getting a better groove, but it just wasn't getting the numbers we needed to make it last. I think because so much of the money went into making up for the stuff that went wrong before. I mean, because there were other things too, but like the sound was the big thing, and reshoots and everything like that. Yeah, it just didn't make sense to keep it going.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Which Aardman movie do you like more, Shaun the Sheep or Wallace and Gromit: Curse of the Were-Rabbit?
I love Wallace and Gromit, but Shaun the Sheep really was the better movie. It's so rare you see a film where they do not talk. There is no dialogue throughout the whole thing. And it took me a while to realize that's what they were doing. I was just like, is there no talking in this? I got so excited when that revealed itself more and more, and how much of the visual storytelling was in there and how much personality came across with just, I mean, half of them don't even have mouths. You have to only go by the eyes, sort of the Gromit eyes, and just so much was gotten across with that. So yeah, I really, really like that one.
Ooh, Jeremiah, thank you for the 500 bits. What are your thoughts on the Fallout show?
I like it. It's funny because I saw the movie Fall Guy, so at first I was thinking like the Stuntman show. I'm like, oh no, Fallout show. I never played the game, so or games I should say. So I don't really know much about it. I know the little guy in the blue suit, and I know the bottle caps. That's about it. So to be introduced to it that way, it was pretty cool. And yeah, I will say I thought I don't know, ending, cliffhanger, whatever you say without going to spoilers, would have a little bit more of like a twist or a punch to it or something like that. It was kind of just like, oh, well, that's about what I thought would happen, what characters would be doing what, or who would be good, bad, or what would happen to some people. But I still like everybody. I like that world. And I think in a year where it looks like we're getting a lot of apocalyptic video game adaptations, I was afraid they were going to blend together too much, and this one definitely stands out, so I'm glad to see that.
Matt, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Doug and Heather, who are your favorite characters on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Oh, man.
I still gotta watch it.
Man, I don't even know. I mean, I feel like just the main cast in general. I'll say this, the one episode where Charlie really takes on responsibility, and a lot of it's done in one shot where he's just trying to get the bar ready to be inspected. It's like the health inspector or something is coming. Charlie just became my favorite character in that scene because for whatever reason, he's such a screw up and gets everything wrong. But this one thing he not only does right, but he does brilliantly. And he doesn't crack under pressure. And showing that through that one shot was so great. And Heather, if you are going to watch Always Sunny, just keep in mind, it is kind of like Simpsons. Like the first season's in, then second season gets pretty good, and then third season on, it's like great.
Okay, good to know. JL, thank you for that 3-month subscription. Welcome back over on Twitch. I really wish I could cheer 50 to save some bits for Friday's stream. I mean, we've been over this already, and continuously asking about it isn't going to change it. It actually hasn't been 50 bits in probably a couple of years. Because it's been 100 for the Q&A
actually, we've been
for
doing 100 for a while.
yeah, for a couple of years. We would just have an unmanageable amount of questions if we did that.
Yeah.
Oyram, thank you for the 500 bits. You know a movie I'm surprised you haven't done yet, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. I'm especially curious because most people criticize the movie for Costner's accent or lack of one alone, but it sounds like you prefer people shouldn't even attempt accents.
Maybe, it's one of those. I saw it when it came out. I didn't know what to make. I mean, it was pretty young when it came out. I just did not know what to make of it. I've seen bits and pieces of it on TV, and I still don't know what to make of it. So maybe I should sit down and just watch the whole thing. I don't know what the turnout would be for it, though. I don't know how many people would click on it. I do like to do a balance of something I want to talk about and people want to see. So I don't know. I'm not sure if the audience is there, but yeah, I do remember the accent was pretty bad.
Oyram, thank you for the 500 bits. Can you still find a character annoying because of a voice, even if the character in question is extremely intelligent, nice, competent, and never gets kidnapped?
Sure, in my opinion. I mean, I'll say this. I feel really bad when somebody in a movie or a show or something like that, and I know I shouldn't talk, but just naturally has an annoying voice. I feel really bad because I'm like, well, they can't help it. That's just how they are and stuff. But with that said, I love it when somebody has something that everyone would see as a disadvantage and they turn it into an advantage. I think that includes the voice. I mean, we were just talking about Charlie earlier from Always Sunny. He has a very strange voice. I mean, I can see that voice getting very annoying for people listening to it, but because the character is so funny, because his delivery is so good, and he just so creates an identity around that character, it doesn't bother me at all. And I feel like there's a lot of voices. I mean, particularly in animation, if you really listen to a lot of animated voices, like they are kind of annoying voices, but they so create these great characters and identities around them that instead of distracting from them, they actually add more to the character. But it is tricky. It can be tricky to do, but it's always really cool when that does happen.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen the Mulan music video that has Jackie Chan singing the Chinese version of Make a Man Out of You?
No, I think I heard of that somewhere, though. Sounds like fun. I'll check it out.
The Movie Nader, thank you for the 500 bits. What's up, guys? I have a fun new segment where I've been doing on Letterboxd called Movie Mondays. Once a week during the weekend, I ask my followers to give recommendations for what I should review on Mondays. If you could recommend a good movie that's free on streaming right now, that would be awesome. So far, it's reviewed Howl's Moving Castle, Old Boy, 2001: A Space Odyssey. Also, with permission, I will leave a YouTube link to this stream on my next post so I can brag. No links in chat and no self-promoting. I'm sorry. So yeah, no, please don't share your link.
But nicely done. And I don't know, Madam Web.
I was
Madam Web. Ooh, Jeremiah, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather, has there ever been that one student that makes you furious in a way?
Just one?
Yeah. There's only been a couple, and one sticks out that I literally looked that kid in the eye and I was like, he is going to be a serial killer when he grows up. This kid is an actual psychopath. He literally at a middle school dance drugged a girl and specifically picked her out because he knew her parents weren't around. And when it was brought up, his parents defended him and her parents didn't come to the meeting. So literally nothing happened. And he was just like, And I was like, I hate you and I am scared of you.
Yeah, that's like
that kid probably grew up to kill somebody.
That's like a good son. That's like, I just see him walking away, turning around, slowly smiling, like that, like just like out of a bad movie, but it's bad reality.
That kid probably killed someone. I can't tell you for certain because I didn't follow him, but holy cow.
Or maybe he became a saint. Who knows? Probably.
BR37, thank you for the £5 super chat. Would you ever do an essay video on the history of the Muppets? Would love to hear your thoughts on the sex and violence pilot that they made.
I've never seen all of that pilot. I've seen clips of it. And again, it is so funny for a guy who didn't like working on the Ninja Turtles movies, like, oh, he thought it was too violent and stuff. He literally had a show called Sex and Violence that he tried to get off the ground. But no, I'm not the guy. I really like the Muppets. But people who love the Muppets and know the history of them and seen everything and stuff like that, they are obsessed to a healthy degree. I mean, the ones I've seen like really, really admire the craftsmanship and everything, and they should. But I'm one of those people where I really like them. I like the movies and everything, but I'm not a super fan. If I'm going to talk about that, I got to be a super fan because there's going to be a lot of stuff I know I'm going to miss.
Maryland Wolves, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hello, Doug and Heather. Is it possible? Could we get an NC review of the Scooby-Doo crossover, WWE crossover films? They are so nutty and weird. Love to see your reactions.
Probably not, because that's another one. We're kind of like the Japanese copyright. If you even say the word WWE or world wrestling, if you say wrestling, because I can't talk right now. Yeah, they come down hard on like the copyright and stuff like that. But on top of that, I always say I think wrestlers are really cool. I don't really get into wrestling itself, but I love actual wrestlers, like their personalities and everything, and how dedicated they are, how funny they are. But the actual, whatever you call it, sport show, whatever you call it, of wrestling, I don't really get into. So I feel like it'd be lost on me anyway.
Covio, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Heather and Doug, loved the review. Surprised to see a reference to Princess Sally Acorn from Sonic Sat AM. Did that character leave an impression on you, or is that just a random Kath Suchi joke?
Oh, it's just a random Kath Suchi joke. I was looking up what else she's done, because I was surprised that wasn't what's her name? Beaumont, Carl Beaumont? No, Carl Beaumont. Quoting Phantasm now. The actress who originally played Wendy. I thought that was her. And when I looked up,
Catherine, thank you, chat.
Catherine, thank you.
Catherine Beaumont, thank you, chat.
Beaumont. While I was looking it up, I found that wasn't her, and I was really surprised. So I looked up, I'm like, wow, well, who is this actress? I was like, oh, okay, she was Sally. Well, maybe I can make, a joke about that somewhere, and I just need a joke there. And I'm like, all right, there you go.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. How is it that awesome guys such as Walter and Malcolm are unattached?
I mean, they are attached. I mean, not to each other, but they got loved ones, so they attached.
And they're attached to us. We love them.
Yes.
Matthew, thank you for the $20 super chat. This is part 1 of 3. Hey, Doug, I've been watching since I saw you crossover with Cinema Sins for The Grinch. Since then, I've seen a lot of your work, from Batman and Robin to the Snyder Cut, from Kick-Assia to Demo Reel, and there will be more coming.
Cool.
Ymir, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey guys, Doug, between the mid-1980s and 2023, which do you think was a more creatively difficult time for Disney? Or is there a third challenger?
Okay. That's rough, because like as a company or just the creative side? Like creative side, I would kind of say right now. I think they're all seeming like that they're trying to push out too much stuff and there's not much soul to it. But, in terms of how long of a dry spell and stuff like that, like I would probably go to either the 80s, or I would go to maybe, if we're talking about hand-drawn animation, I'd probably go to like, the late 90s, where it was really dying out, or early 2000s. But I mean, I guess I'll say right now, I'm really hoping that Inside Out 2 can turn it around. Mm-hmm. I mean, but I've been saying, like, I feel like it's been sort of losing its step ever since around the time, I think, when Frozen 2 came out. I think that's in the review. I just said, you okay, Disney? You okay? Like something's off. Like something's just feeling a little off. And maybe they had their hands in too many cookie jars or something. I don't know. But but they still had one or two good things coming out. And when they did, they were great. Like Encanto, fantastic. Coco, fantastic. So I'm hoping we can kind of, at the very least, get back to those, like at least one or two, like great things a year coming out again. And I do get why they have, the filler, or like the direct-to-DVD sequels or the live-action remakes. Like, I hate them, but they're easy to make and they make money. So then they can focus on the stuff they really want to take a chance on and sort of innovate with. But we haven't seen that much recently, sort of the innovative stuff. So that's why I'm hoping there's more of that in the near future.
Jeremy, thank you for the $10 super chat. Do you have a favorite ABC weekend special? I have fond memories of The Mouse and the Motorcycle myself.
I do remember that. I remember the sequel too. Oh my gosh. I mean, man, that's like kind of the only one I can think of right now. I'm sure you listed like 10 others. I could be like, oh, I remember like 3 of those. But yeah, I do remember that mouse and the motorcycle, when the little stop motion mouse running around. Yeah, no, I'm not saying it was good, but I remember liking it when I was 5.
Entertainer, thank you for the $5 super chat. Any chance you will still review Swiss Family Robinson? Sorry. Jesus Christ, Heather. And 1999's Annie for Disney-cember. They were part of my childhood and were a success.
I'll look into it. I really don't like Annie. It's just not my thing. A Swiss Family Robinson is kind of like a classic Disney movie, though, so it might make sense to check that out. I'll see if I can get to it this year.
Matthew, thank you for the $50 super chat. I don't know why
Thank you so much.
That's $50 super chat. This is part 2 of 3. Real Thoughts Vlogs, first viewings. I've watched and loved every minute. Huge thanks to everyone at Channel Awesome. You guys have helped me laugh when I needed it most and have helped me think about the movies I love and why, making me enjoy them even more.
Yeah, that's so kind. Thank you so much. That's incredibly kind of you to say and give.
Yeah, thank you. Easy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey Doug, what are your thoughts on on reviewing the 1983 animated film Fire and Ice directed by animator Ralph Bakshi?
I remember I saw it. I liked it. I don't think there's a ton to talk about. It's just kind of a good movie. It presents itself what it is, and then it's kind of, gone. It's animated well. Yeah, if I was gonna do something, I'd do something like really bonkers, like Wizards or something like that. Or my personal favorite is American Pop. I think that's like his masterpiece. So yeah, if I was gonna talk about another one, it'd probably be one of those.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. Are you excited for Knives Out 3? The cast and title were just announced.
Yeah, you know what I'm most excited about? I mean, they're good movies. The thing I'm most excited about, though, is the mystery is always what's the mystery. And I thought the first one did better than the second one, but I just love that angle where you're trying to actually figure out what is the thing we're supposed to be figuring out. And I just think that's so that guy. Like, oh, the expectations, blah, 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 which you could argue sometimes gets in the way of his stuff. But I think with those movies, especially because he's writing them from scratch with brand new characters and everything, I really like that. Yeah, no, I'm excited for it.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of the trope of a robot learning emotion and starting to act more human? I freaking love it. Give me a robot with feelings. I'll eat it all up.
It's it's done a lot. It's funny. I feel like, boy, I should hate it because it's done so often. And you could always be like, well, how much does this robot know? What would this robot really understand about this idea and stuff like that? I don't know. I feel like it would be both simpler and more complicated than usually these movies let on. But at the same time, it's hard to think of a bad one. They're usually pretty good. Like, I guess AI wasn't that great, but the ones that really kind of dive into it and really get some interesting commentary out of it, even ones that are just for kids, like Iron Giant and stuff like that, they're usually pretty damn charming.
Mm-hmm. Noah Zinner, thank you for the $10 super chat. Doug, when you get the chance, please check out Ned's Declassified and The Chosen. The former is an exaggerated live-action cartoony guide to school, and the latter is the definitive Jesus. It was in all caps.
I just like the definitive Jesus. I don't know why that made me laugh. I do still have that one saved on I forget it was on Amazon or something like that. I might actually watch it soon because I'm finishing up Archer, and I'm like, wouldn't that be a funny thing to follow that up with?
Yeah.
Just after Archer, The Chosen. So I might, because I've been curious about it.
Matthew, thank you for the $5 super chat, and this is part 3 of 3. You and Rob are my Siskel and Ebert, and I will be forever grateful for the entertainment and insight into cinema.
Oh my God, that is so nice of you to say, man. Yeah. Holy smoke, that's just so freaking kind of you. Thank you so much again for that.
Truly, Doug could not do it without people like you.
I really can't. And like I say, I know I know we have to say that, we have, but I mean, like, it really is true. I mean, we've been doing
Mm-hmm.
this like 17 years, and if
Mm-hmm.
y'all weren't around for that, I don't know what we'd be doing right now. So, like, I mean, it really, really means the world to us when everybody watches, and then hearing such kind of words like that. Yeah, I mean, it's like, again, I know we have to say it, but it really is true. Y'all really do mean a great deal to us.
Jacob, thank you for the $5 super chat. As far as theme months go, what would you say to doing a month of the Highlander films? Would love to hear you tackle The Quickening.
I gotta do the first film. Honestly, I always have it on a list and I never get to it. That's another one where I don't think the audience is there. I know they get pretty crazy. I mean, they already start out pretty crazy, but I mean, like, they get pretty bad. But like, I just don't think enough people would show up to those. One day I'll do the first one though, because I do have it on the list.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, can we get a clue for next week's NC, please?
Oh, as you wish.
Ooh, okay. Frank, thank you for the $5 super chat. With the new trailer out now, you still think Alien
Alan
Romulus looks good.
Alan.
I'm excited to see it as long as it's better than Covenant.
I'm just thinking of like just that amazing like trailer where the title slowly just says Alan.
Oh my gosh, my dyslexia is strong today. Alan.
But mine was really bad. I shot an NC today, and I was doing the butthead thing that I was just talking like this the whole time. I was just like, damn, I had to do like so many lines over and over. So yeah, I don't know. I know what it is about today. Yeah. So the trailer looks good. I thought the teaser looked better. I really like that director's stuff. I think he's a perfect choice to do an Alien movie. Nothing like jumped out at me as like, ooh, like this is something brand new or really cool or anything. But at the same time, it looks like they're just trying to get back to basics, and I'm okay with that. I think they should with this. So yeah, I'm still pretty excited for it.
Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. What's the worst prequel? The Thing, 2011, Dumb and Dumber, When Harry Met Lloyd, or Prometheus? Also, all Peter Pan and the Pirates episodes are on YouTube.
I know, but I want to clear. I mean, like TMS did like half the animation of those, and that's like one of the best animation companies ever. I mean, we should be able to see that as clearly as possible. It's just a great show. Not enough people know about. Put it on Disney Plus. I think it'd be great.
Right.
What was I talking about? Oh, I only saw Prometheus, but I'll still say the Dumb and Dumber prequel is worse.
Maggie, thank you for the $5 super chat. Other than the Fox show and Disney film, do you have another favorite version of Peter Pan?
Let me see. I do. I mean, I don't know if it counts. I do kind of like Hook. I actually think
Heck
Justin
yeah.
Hook was a very good Hook, and I very easily believe Robin Williams as a grown-up Peter Pan. I mean, all of them, even like Maggie Smith as a grown-up Wendy, like that makes sense. So yeah, I mean, there's corny things in it, obviously, but I thought like, yeah, no, it's about like what I imagine Neverland kind of looked like and everything, and the overall feel of the place. So yeah, I like that one.
Super G Bros, thank you for becoming a member over on YouTube. Appreciate that. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Arthur Christmas, what do you think of Steve?
Steve's the older brother.
I don't know. I've only seen it once. I'm sorry.
Christmas Steve. Oh yeah, I love the Christmas tree beard. That really makes me laugh. I also love the line, was it, so I'm not good with children. That doesn't mean I'd be a bad Santa. That really makes me laugh. Yeah, I like, and he has, I feel like one of the best scenes at the end with, I'll be the candle. I think that's such a great line.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, please check out Aliens in the Attic. It's a funny summer kids action film that's gaining a following.
Yeah, I heard about that. A couple people have recommended it to me. I keep forgetting about it because like I just never grew up with it or heard of it. I don't even know how old it. I don't know if it's like just 10 years old or like 20, 30. Oh, okay, I know it's not 30, but yeah, I'll try to look into it.
Matthew, thank you for the $5 super chat. You've told us some of your favorite movies. How about some of Rob's or your dad's favorite movies? Also, how is Dad Lee?
Good. I'm trying to think of Well, some is I mean, they're a lot of them are just very basic action flicks. Indiana Jones, Fifth Element. He actually, just for how bad it is, he likes League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Sometimes he likes watching really bad. He likes watching the Lost in Space movie because it's so bad. All right, and Rob, he likes a lot of bad. I think Millennium Actress is his favorite movie. Big Lebowski will probably be up there. Probably the Spider-Verse movies are up there. I think it was pretty blown away. Anything by Satoshi Kon, he's really drawn into. So like Perfect Blue and Tokyo Godfathers. So yeah, there's a couple.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 500 bits. Which Mad Max movie do you like more, Furiosa or Under the Thunderdome?
That's rough. I try to think if I was to, which one would I rather watch like right now and get sucked into that world and stuff? Maybe Furiosa. Yeah, so I think Fury Road is still the best. Just for, I'm not saying it's like made the best, but just for me personally, under that, I would probably put Furiosa and then Thunderdome. I think Thunderdome did a few more interesting new things given that time, but I just love this version of Mad Max that we have now, that very orange, landscape with the blue sky and everything, and just how they can go even bigger and crazier and everything. So yeah, I did enjoy it quite a bit. I do wish there was a little bit more new to it, but I love that world. I'm so at home in that world.
JT, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey there, Doug. I just wanted to know what you think of 2004's Napoleon Dynamite. I've heard that movie is gaining more of a cult following as the years have gone by.
Oh, yeah, I got a very fast cult following, I feel like. I think it did okay in theaters, but then it just kept growing and growing and growing. So they re-released it, I think, and add like an alternate ending or an extra ending. And people either like love it or they hate it, they get it or they don't get it. And again, I'm one of those people, I'm just like, it's fine. Like, it's all right. I do like that it's only like PG or something like that. Like everyone thinks it's like a PG-13 or R movie. I do like it's a family-friendly movie. I can't forget about that. But yeah, it's fine.
Godzilla fan, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey, Doug, I really enjoyed you on the Hack the Movies stream. You were the best part.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen the sequel to Chicken Run, Dawn of the Nugget?
No, it's funny. For a second, I got my head Chicken Little. I'm like, what? No, they could have made a sequel to that. It's like, that's right, it's Chicken Run. No, I forgot it was coming out. Yeah, I should check it out because I like the original movie. I will try to do that.
Maryland Wolves, thank you for the $10 super chat. Have you seen of Cartoon Saloon films such as Secret of Kells, Wolfwalkers, etc.? They are the most underrated animation company out there, helping bring back old school flares to digital animation.
Well, and they all have such a unique style too. Like, even though you can look at those movies and be like, oh, I bet this is, Cartoon Saloon. They all, like, the way they have the layout of like the backgrounds and stuff like that is just so unique. Like, Breadwinner looks entirely different from like Secret of Kells, Yeah, sometimes you can kind of tell. Again, like Wolfwalkers looks pretty similar to Secret of Kells, but no, I really, really like them. And I like not only you said hand drawn, but it's a very unique hand drawn. Again, you can look at them and you wouldn't be like, oh, this is like Disney hand drawn or like anime hand drawn. No, it is specifically them, and I love that. They have a very distinct style, but again, they can be versatile in something like The Breadwinner, which was very, very different for them. So no, they're very, very good movies.
John, thank you for the $5 super chat. You've spoken many times about your religious upbringing. I wanted to ask, do you or your family still have faith? If not, how would you define it?
No, threw it out the window with the rest of the gabbing. No, no, it's funny because I don't. Every time I try to ask my dad about it, I can never get a straight answer because he's very read up on it. He knows the Bible like inside out, but he also knows like the history of it, and like the time frame. I mean, like he's very fascinated by it. So I can never get a straight answer out of him. I think his thought is always, it doesn't matter. There's going to be like different interpretations of kind of the same idea, like same song, different lyrics, kind of thing. And that's kind of where I am. I'll say this, traveling from state to state, going from different church to different church, you do find out that not if someone's like, oh, whatever, this blank religion is just whatever, A, B, C, and that's it. It's like, nah, man, because just going from, even sometimes in the same town, just going from a different church to a different church, drastically different places. I mean, some places are so lively and so joyful, and others are so dead and so depressing and so harsh. And it's like we just kept moving around, and we would always see the differences between the play. And then there's some that are just okay. I mean, there's such a wide variety. So yeah, I've definitely seen people where it's like, man, they just have this amazing outlook on life and spirituality and being greater than they are, and then others that just, seem like they're using it just to be a-holes to others. You know what I mean? So yeah, and that's kind of my thought. Anything I think that's trying to make you bigger, better, and than yourself, but also focusing on kindness and love. Like, that's the secret to it. It's the loving your enemy. It's doing it through love and understanding, and that's how you become bigger and something that's eternal. Like, that's really amazing to me. If you're focusing on that, I like what you're doing.
Christian, thank you for the $5 super chat. Since you have the Michael Jackson experience on Wii, what other Wii games do you have?
What did I have? I think, I don't know where the Wii is now.
Probably Wii Sports.
Yeah, of course, Wii Sports. We did have Melee on there.
Nice.
There wasn't many. I think we had Just Dance because I did like the dancing games. Maybe like two others. I didn't get that many games for it. Oh, Mario Party. We had that too. And Mario Kart. All the Mario games, the more I think about it.
Super G Bros, thank you for the $5 super chat. I would love to see Nostalgia Critic review Along Came a Spider, starring Morgan Freeman.
That's another one I don't think anyone has that many memories of, and I don't think they would click on it. I mean, we've been doing this 17 years. We can't just, review whatever we want. It'll be like, and it'll do well. It's like, no, we got to play the algorithm game, like everybody does. But again, so lucky that we're even given the chance to do that. So I'm not complaining. But yeah, it does have to be a mix of something that I want to talk about. I think people want to see. Also, I've never seen it. A lot of those, I don't know what you call them, like sort of Detective 7 knockoff movies. Like, I know that they're not in the same world, but it's trying to be that, or kind of Sounds of the Lambs movies. I don't really get that into anyway, so I never did see it. It just doesn't look like it'd be my thing, whether it's good or not.
Michael, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey, Doug and Heather, so sorry to hear about long COVID possibly causing your brain fog. Hope it gets better soon. Miss you all. Hope to visit Chicago later this year. Yay!
Yeah, no, it'd be great to see you. Yeah, no, it's like, it's probably going to be the long haul, but it's like it is technically getting better, but it does, as I'm finding out more and more research, there are times where it could be like, hey, you can have a great 2 weeks, and then just suddenly 3 days, it can knock you out. Like, I was just out this whole past weekend, just mostly in bed. So it's rough, but like I said, I'm not in any pain, and compared to other people who have long COVID, it's like, holy smokes, I am lucky as darn, because I can't say any words on YouTube. So yeah, I am it sucks, but man, it could suck a lot more. So I'm very, very thankful.
Godzilla fan, thank you for the 500 bits. I would watch a Finding Crush movie.
Finding Crush.
Crush is the turtle.
The turtle. I can watch a short. I don't know if I can watch a whole movie.
Caleb, thank you for the 500 bits. I'm turning 25 on the 29th. I ordered a cameo from my favorite rock star, Sebastian Bach. He was $400.
Woo! Well, not to brag, but I myself am on Cameo. The only reason I'm pushing that is because they do go to charity. So it'd be just saying.
I know on Twitch you can do !cameo and get the link. I don't think I set that up on YouTube. I'm sorry. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen the Aardman film Early Man?
No, there's actually a couple of those I'm missing the more I think about it. And that's one I haven't seen. It's another one I just totally forgot about. Yeah, so I should probably check it out.
Jacob, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Doug, what's your favorite Nicolas Cage movie and freakout?
Man, like my favorite of his, I'm trying to like trying to go through like his filmography.
This isn't a film, but genuinely, some of his lines in Dead by Daylight are so unhinged.
I just love it when he does
Favorite is
that
the
thing.
you can be chasing him as a killer sometimes, and he just goes da 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 stop. It's so crazy.
You know, everyone says his best movie is probably Leaving Las Vegas, and I've never seen it. I probably should. Everyone says it's like his best one. But in terms of what I've seen, I'm trying to think of one where it's like, man, I don't know. I know it sounds crazy, but he's done so many movies and so many weird roles. It's really hard to think like, man, what's the one? Oh, no, I do know. Bringing Out the Dead. He's very, very good in, and that's a very underrated movie. In terms of best freak out, I don't know. I do kind of like I think Ghost Rider 2, just scratching at the door. I still quote that every once in a while.
Jacob, thank you for the $5 super chat. What's a movie that was so emotionally draining or disturbing that you never want to watch it again, but it was so good and you're still glad that you saw it?
Happiness is one, ironically called Happiness, but yeah, it is so like if you've seen it, you know why. Just like, like just gives you the chills. It's so disturbing. And I saw it. I said that was brilliant. I never need to see that movie again. Another one. I guess it's hard to say it's disturbing, but it was just such a downer. I was just like, okay. And we saw it on Christmas, which we shouldn't have done. Was at the Florida Project. We got an idea it was going to be like a more foul-mouthed like Sandlot movie. That is not what it was at all. Yeah, both my wife and I saw it on that day. And we went to, because we had Christmas morning, and then we came back home, we watched the movie, and then we went to like my uncle's place. He always has a big get together. And we just went the whole rest of the day. Hi, yeah, sure, okay. Yeah, Merry Christmas. Yeah, we were just like in a funk. We just drove home, like not even talking to each other. Like that movie just stayed with us. And just, I think on the drive back, I'm like, I am still thinking about that movie. She's like, yeah, me too. We should have watched it like on Christmas. So yeah, but it is very, very good. But yeah, it's one where I'm just like, I don't think I need to see that again.
Juliana, thank you for the $5 super chat. You and Rob always talk about your top 10, 15, 20 worst movies you've seen. Would you guys ever do a top 20 worst movies sibling rivalry style?
Maybe. Man, that would take. How would we like rank it? How would we? I don't know, but it'd be interesting to talk about them again because we've seen more bad movies. As I think I did a list a long time ago when I killed off the NC, and then I'm just like, well, now we've seen even more movies since we brought them back. So maybe at some point we'll do it. But the number one still hasn't changed. It's still Garbage Pail Kids.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Rugrats in Paris, not only does Tim Curry play a sumo wrestler, but he also sings Bad Girl.
All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, you're pulling me in more and more with the strangeness of this movie.
That Disney nerd, thank you for the 500 bits. A few weeks ago, I told you I finally saw the theatrical versions of Lord of the Rings trilogy. Here's what I thought of Two Towers. I was never bored watching it, but at the hour-and-a-half mark, I started to realize it feels overstuffed. Characters just disappear for like 20 to 30 minutes, and I had to remind myself what other characters were up to.
It's rough because in the book, they would literally just follow Frodo and Sam, through half the book. And then the second half, it's like, okay, now we're going to follow Aragorn and Gimli and all that stuff. So it's tough to do that in a movie. And you also have all the appendices and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a lot. I like Two Towers quite a bit. Ironically, when they get to the fight, that's where I kind of get a little bored because like, I think like only one of the not even a main character, one side character dies. Everyone else, they literally throw themselves into the army over and over and they don't get a scratch on them. So that kind of lost the suspense for me.
Space Cowboy, thank you for the 500 bits. Would you consider an NC for Balto 3?
Balto 2 didn't do that great. And I don't know, it didn't really interest me that much either. It was just kind of a lame sequel. So probably not.
Trip, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen the new Nicolas Cage movie Dream Scenario? And if so, do you consider it Cage's comeback?
Did Cage ever truly leave? I mean, honestly, I don't know. Cage in anything is his comeback. Even if he's in something terrible, he's doing it for a reason. You know what I mean? But yeah, I didn't get into it that much. It's a great idea, and it has other great ideas in there, but it's a little smushed together. I think they should have just taken one and expanded on that, but instead they try to combine like three or four different things in there, and I don't think they quite worked. But it's not awful. Like I can see somebody else liking it, but it was just weirdly a little too cluttered for me.
Super Guy, thank you for the $5 super chat. I never like stories where the bad guy trying to destroy all civilization because they think there's no good in the world. What do you think?
Again, it depends on how it's done. I'll say this: if they're trying to do it like really serious, like, well, we're gonna blow your mind with this idea, then I tend to agree that's pretty dull. Even something like Thanos is playing around with the idea. No, it's just half. And like that's really interesting to me. Even something as simple as that, it's like that's not altering it much, but it's just enough where I'm like, interesting, So yeah, I mean, if they're just doing it for goofy fun, though, like I'm not gonna dislike the Monarch from Venture Brothers because that's his plan. It's like no, it's supposed to be a satire. It's supposed to be goofy that way. So it depends.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 500 bits. Hello, Doug and Heather. Great review of Return to Neverland, one of my childhood favorite movies. I love the song I'll Try from the movie, but yeah, the original songs from the first movie are a classic, but that's the only one song I love from the sequel.
Yeah, again, I'm wondering because they just all sound so generic to me. I'm wondering if it would have made a bigger difference if the characters sung it, especially because the singer is singing like I'll try, I tried and stuff, and I'm just thinking like, man, what the main character was singing that in that moment? How much more like powerful would that be? But yeah, no, I thought it was all right.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you ever seen the 2011 reboot of Thundercats? It was a really good show that was sadly canceled before the story could finish.
Yeah, it's a valiant attempt. They kind of did the same thing. They did better with one of the He-Man reboots, but I don't know. I just have an issue with when they young down the characters a lot more, and something about Lion-O being like, I don't know, it'd be like a teen or like a college kid or something like that. I'm like, no, Lion-O's a man, like he's a grown up, like that's always kind of the thing for me. So that was a little distracting, but it was good. I tried to give it more of a world that felt very updated and more modern and stuff like that. It was a very valiant attempt. It is a shame it didn't quite work. And again, maybe the idea was he was supposed to grow up through the series, which would have been interesting.
It's a living. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Doug, quickly, I just want to say Nostalgia Critic has helped me with my depression, and I appreciate you greatly with the new Killer Clowns video game out. Would you consider reviewing it?
Well, thank you so much for saying. I hope it gets better. And I've had people ask me about it before. I'm so curious what's in this game that has like so many people talking
I've
about it.
seen people playing it, and it looks really fun. I was going to start looking at prices to see if I could pitch it for us for Tournament Tuesday.
All right.
Because it's an asymmetrical horror like Dead by Daylight, where people are clowns and people are survivors. And
all right, I'm seeing the possibilities with that, like the different, like both the clown stuff, but also like the alien stuff you can do with that. Okay, I can kind of see that. Yeah, well, we'll look into it.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on Sound of Music?
Oh, I like it. There's parts I like more than others. And most of the stuff with just Julie Andrews and Christopher Plummer, I really like. A lot of the stuff with the kids, I don't really get into, But even it's all done very, very well. Honestly, I hate saying this. If you compare it to the stage show, it is a million times better. Like I don't know. I've seen the stage show twice, and I'm just like, how did they get a movie that good out of this? Yeah, like the musical, the stage show is not my thing, but that's just what blows me away even more about the movie. But yes, I mean, the stuff you would think I wouldn't get into, you're right, stuff like Do Re Mi or the little puppets and stuff like that. But when things are getting real, like when they get really intense or really kind of dark and stuff like that, and I think it's going to sound weird. A sign of a good musical is not only the music, but it knows when to be quiet. And that movie
Yes.
has a lot of really good, powerful, quiet moments. And yeah, I think that's something more musicals. I think musicals are practicing that, but they can practice it even more, I think.
Sorry, I scrolled away for a second to see
Oh,
something.
no.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. How would you rate these Jason Schwartzman characters? Ash from Fantastic Mr. Fox, Jesper from Claws, and the Spot from Across the Spider-Verse.
I think Fantastic Mr. Fox is probably the best one. That was a pretty interesting character. I guess I'll say the Spot next. I mean, granted, we gotta see where they're gonna go with him, but I love the idea of just starting off as a side villain, and he actually works his way up to being something that's really a threat, really a menace. And then Claus is good, but like I've seen that character before. Yeah, I feel like that's a very kind of classic overdone character, but he does it very well. The movie does it well.
Too bad. Thank you for the £5 super chat. Do you know the YouTuber Shafrillis Productions, and if so, do you enjoy his content?
So I don't know him personally, but yeah, I've seen a little bit of his material, and yeah, I like it. And what I've seen, I haven't. It is one of those things where people are like, "What YouTubers do you watch? What YouTubers?" I'm like, not a ton, because again, I don't have a ton of time to. But yeah, that is one of those channels I've checked out, and I've enjoyed his stuff quite a bit. I gotta see, is he the? Was it him or Saberspark? Somebody did a thing on like the new Megamind sequel that came out and had this whole thing about this ray gun, and apparently it was just this big thing that went viral and everybody's quoting and stuff. And I think it was him that did that, but I could be wrong. Maybe it was Saberspark, but I gotta watch this rant.
Lamp Crow, thank you for the $5 super chat. Back in the day, were you more of a Letterman or Leno fan, and why?
When I was younger, I was a Leno guy because it was more cozy. I know the jokes were pretty, boring and bland and stuff like that, but he also usually got the better celebrities, and I like the set a little bit more, which sounds silly, but like, I'm a little kid. I just want to see my favorite stars in a cool looking place and stuff like that. And I knew Letterman was funnier, but I was just like, but yeah, Leno's nicer. I don't know. I guess I like him. And then as I got older, clearly Letterman's better.
Chat is confirming that was Shafrillis who did that rant that you were talking about.
Yeah, I gotta check that out.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 500 bits. Also, you mentioned in today's review that you like the cliche of a person from the present/future meet their past self. I love that cliche too. Have you seen Suzume yet? Because that cliche is in that film too, and that's why I love it better than Weathering with You.
I think that's the newest one that came out, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Oh, well, that just makes me want to check it out even more, because that director did, I think I referenced it in the review of Voices of a Distant Star.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he did it in a really interesting way, but I mean, it's a way that could be expanded on even more. So he is doing that. Yeah, no, I'm very interested in that then.
Oogly Boogly, thank you for the $8 super chat. Unsure if you've seen it, but what are your thoughts on Killer Clowns from Outer Space? With the game recently released, I rewatched it and loved it.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, I don't know I was gonna say how can you go wrong with that, but I don't know. I feel like nowadays it's like you can see how somebody would just make a low budget movie and not put any fun or effort into it. And that one really does. The design of the clowns alone is so great and so unique. And I found out the same people who did the Ernest Scared Stupid movie. And I was saying, like, actually, I kind of like the way some of the goblins, like the main one's kind of boring, but the other ones look kind of cool. And I found out the budget was so low, they actually took old Killer Clown costumes and they just added some like goblin ears on them and stuff like that. And I'm looking at them, I'm like, oh yeah, I can kind of see that there actually. And even when they're made up to look like something else, they still look great.
Arcade Productions, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey Doug, been a big fan for years. I know the days of anniversary specials are done, but have you given thought to an NC feature or something else?
Especially with the long COVID and the fatigue, probably not. I'll say this too. If features are very hard to make, whether you make them just with, your camcorder, or if you make them with like a professional, a crew or something in between, I guess, like what we do. But you have to have a passion for a diehard passion. Like, man, if things go wrong and it just everything's, going to hell and everything, like you'll let it hurt you. You'll get through the pain to get to the final product at the end. And I think as I get older, it's like I like doing this. I like doing the show. I like doing NC. I like connecting with people this way and everything. And yeah, I mean, this really is what I feel the most comfortable doing. And I think all the ideas I had for movies have already been made by other people, and I think that's a good problem. Like, you can definitely be like, oh, but you didn't make it the way you wanted. It's like, yeah, but they usually make them better than what I had in mind. So as long as they're out there and being made and people see them and everything, I think that's what's most important. So yeah, I'm very happy just doing this. If something hits me like, yes, I have an idea for like a feature, I must make it, like, I'll do it. But yeah, nothing's really, especially with the fatigue, nothing's really like grabbed me so much that I'm like, yeah, I can, like I say, it's not even that I can work through it. Like, there have to be so many delays with it.
Spidey, thank you for the $10 super chat, asking for when I start making video essays. Do you always rip DVDs for your videos, or do you sometimes rip from streaming services like Netflix? If the latter, what software do you use? Thanks.
I use a mix of Handbrake and any DVD, and you need both. For some reason, they talk to each other for that, and we should make it clear: we buy these DVDs,
yes,
and we do
absolutely.
not distribute them anywhere.
Nope.
I mean, we always purchase them. So yeah, that's something where. It's not something where we like to, and that's one of the reasons where it's like, hey, you can review this Netflix movie for the NC. It's like, no, probably not, because we need that hard copy, because then we're literally taking it, we're literally ripping something off streaming, and we're just like, I mean, we can technically fight for that in court, but it's trickier. So it's like, yeah, we always have a hard copy of anything we review.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. This fall, there's going to be a theatrical release Looney Tunes movie called The Day the Earth Blew Up, and will be about Porky and Daffy saving the world from aliens. Here's hoping we finally get a good Looney Tunes movie.
Yeah, I've heard about that for a bit. I'm wondering if it's just something that's going to be on Max or something like that. I wouldn't think they would release that on the big screen. But I mean, if they're not even going to do a James Gunn Coyote movie, I mean, what chance does that have? But yeah, I mean, I always like, Daffy and everything. So yeah, hopefully it's good.
What up, JD? Thank you for the $5 super chat. Hiya, Doug. Have you seen Blood in, Blood Out? It's one of the most adult and violent films I've ever seen, and it turns out to be a Disney movie.
Blood in, Blood Out?
Yeah.
No, let me see. Hold on. Blood in, Blood Out.
Also, that was quite a little Valley Girl Heather peek through moment. Yeah.
Yeah. This has got to be like a Touchstone movie, right? Or something. Let me see. Memphis. Missing who made it here. Buena Vista. I mean, but that can be Touchdown. But I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So Buena Vista could get across a few things without, necessarily being under like the Disney
umbrella
logo or whatever. Yeah. But I mean, it technically, but they wouldn't advertise it, kind of thing. But no, I never even heard of it. I'll try to check it out.
Allie, thank you for the $5 super chat. Would you please consider reviewing The Ghost and the Darkness? It's kind of an FU to Hakuna Matata, and you can see the actual lions in Chicago.
I remember hearing about it. I can't remember if I heard it was. I think I heard mixed things. I think like it's all right, kind of thing. That's another one where it's like I don't think anyone would tune in for it or anyone would click on it. So probably not. But I'll try to watch it on my own.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the $5 super chat. If the Nostalgia Critic did a lightning round review similar to Jello Apocalypse's 10 words or less format, how would you do it, and with what topic?
I don't know. It's one of those things where, I mean, I guess I am like doing these videos where I'll talk about like whatever, all the Twilight movies or all the Shrek movies or something like that. But I don't know. I'm sure I could do like a 10 words or less thing, but it's like, if I don't have to, I don't want to. I like talking about movies. I'm a hammy, ranty guy. So of course I'm going to like doing that.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Is there a movie you were very excited about but then got canceled? For me, it's the Disney movie Gigantic. I think that had a lot of potential to be a fun movie.
I agree. It's a shame they didn't do that. I think they still can. I think from what I saw from just a little production drawing, it looked like Jack's playing the Beanstalk, but then he meets like the giant's daughter, who's like this little kid, and it's like that's a unique spin on that. And you can still have the giant there. You can do all the cool stuff, but it's like that's like a fun little different take on that. And I think with Jack and the Beanstalk too, if you're gonna do a movie like you can expand more upon like what that world in the clouds looks like and everything. I think Disney could come up with some cool ideas with that. I think the one that's really like every time I hear about is the Coyote movie because
everything that leaks looks so good.
I just didn't believe it was a real film. So like when they're saying now it's done, but it's canceled, I'm just like, what? How are they gonna do this? But if anyone was going to do it, and in an interesting way, like James Gunn, would kind of find a way. But on top of that too, like I feel like, with him doing like more superhero movies and stuff, which is like, I hope they're good, don't get me wrong, but I'm already getting like a formula from him where I feel like the Coyote suing Acme, like there's something new in there, even though its characters already exist. I would like to have seen what he would have done with it.
Maryland Wolves, thank you for the $10 super chat. Is it possible, can we get a Doug plays of any of the super giant games such as Hades, Transistor, Bastion, etc.? I have a feeling these games would be up your alley, plus the music is so freaking good.
Maybe. There's already so many games like on the list that that I want to play and try out and stuff like that. I mean, that's the thing. It's not like just reviewing movies where it's like, okay, I take 2 hours, watch it, boom, here's my thoughts. Like, games take a while. So yeah, we'll add it to the list. But yeah, it's a pretty big list.
At Movies, thank you for the 500 bits. If you could do an NC for Office Space in honor of its 20th anniversary, that'd be great.
That'd be great. Okay, so horrible confession. I like Office Space. I don't love it. I like the first half a lot more. I think the second half gets kind of slow and dull. But it's still all right. It works. And it's got some good laughs in it. But yeah, I don't know. Like nothing really kind of topped that first half where he just doesn't care. And it's such a smart idea where it's like, okay, well, where do you go after that? And I kind of feel like the movie didn't exactly know where to go either. And then just the thing with like, the girlfriend slept with, the boss. It's, who cares? Like, I don't know. That second half just really bored me. But it's still good. It is a good movie. And it does have a funny resolution to everything that, like I said, like kind of pulls it all together at the end where I'm like, okay, that worked. But yeah, I don't have a diehard passion for it. But I do see why people do.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. As which character do you think J.K. Simmons gave a better performance? Claus or Tenzin?
I guess I have to say Tenzin just because there's more time dedicated to him. But Claus is pretty good. It's kind of what makes Claus a little bit more challenging. You have to get across more in a shorter amount of time. And he does it very, very well. But yeah, I mean, they're both very, very good.
Allie, thank you for the $5 super chat, and I think they just didn't realize they repeated it's the same thing about the Ghosts in the Darkness and Hakuna Matata and the Lions.
Oh, there you go.
A crazy guy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Heather, I'm also a huge Doctor Who fan, and Nshuti's run has been great. Who's your favorite Doctor and episode? I flip-flop for a while between Matt Smith and David Tennant, but I think it's Matt Smith for me. Although Donna is one of my favorite companions. So some of my favorite episodes are like Silence in the Library and all that stuff with like Donna Noble is in the library. I love those episodes. Frank, thank you for the $5 super chat. Do you think anyone still shops at Best Buy? I stopped going as much as I did before they got rid of physical media.
I mean, I'll say this. If anyone stopped going, it's not because of that. I wish it was because I like physical media. But...
Yeah, it's why I stopped going to Best Buy. I used to at least go once a year for Black Friday, and it's like, well, now the only thing I got was some DVDs. Guess not.
Yeah, and I do miss it. And it's, I got my brother's birthday and Father's Day coming up, and I miss just walking down a store looking for books, Blu-rays, and stuff. I mean, there's still one or two bookshops around, but there's not many. And I don't know. It's not the same shopping on Amazon or online. I think it's the same when I'm renting something. I like walking down a rental store and being like, well, what's new? What's out? What's Oh, they don't have anything? Well, let me look for something maybe I haven't looked for. I don't know. There's something about actually moving around, moving your body around. Maybe it's because I do have the fatigue and I don't move it around enough. But yeah, I don't know. It's different for me, and I probably one day it's all going to be gone. That's gonna suck. I'm gonna miss. I'm already missing it.
At Movies, thank you for the 500 bits. Befriend, marry, dump, adopt.
Oh my god.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, Steven Seagal, Christian Slater, Hulk Hogan.
All right. What was the last one? Drop? Was that the
Adopt. So there's
Adopt?
befriend, marry, dump, adopt.
Dump. Seagal, I would dump
All right.
easily. Adopt Hogan.
Okay.
Uh,
Befriend and marry are left with Van Damme and Slater.
be let me see. Befriend Van Damme because I bet he has some interesting stories, and marry Slater because he's a cream puff.
Deadshot, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey, Doug, what do you think about the last Alien trailer? It looks very promising, in my opinion, especially with the shot of the light showing the chestbuster trying to break out and the person in zero gravity with acid blood all around.
Yeah, no, so it didn't. I like the teaser more, but I'm kind of hoping because we're not seeing a whole ton. It's like they're keeping it kind of a mystery. Like they showed the generic, screaming, and whatever that weird chest thing was, like that was glowing. That was kind of interesting. That was like the one new thing that's like, whoa, what is that? I actually didn't see the thing where they're floating in, with no gravity and the alien blood is getting like that's a cool idea. Like that's taking advantage of the idea and just being like, okay, let's just keep it simple. Just combine two things that we know are in this world, and that can just make just in a way we haven't seen before. And like, so I'm down with that. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Godzilla fan, thank you for the 500 bits. What side character in a movie do you two like better than the main character?
Man, just about all the side characters in Cats Don't Dance I like more than the main character. I thought he was pretty boring. Yeah, that's a good one.
Sean,
I to some extent I like the character fine, but Korra, all the side characters are just yeah, they're so good.
Sean, thank you for the $10 super chat. These movies that recommend to you in past stream are on Tubi until the end of June. Family Business, 1989, My Favorite Year, The Anderson Tapes, Death Trap. If you can't watch any of them by then, that's fine.
Why does something about Death Trap sounds like something about that like really stood out to me? I'm trying to remember what it was. No, I have no memory of this. Oh no, that's right, the Michael Caine Christopher Reeve movie. Yes. I'll try to check that one out because actually I do remember looking it up afterwards, and it was it did sound pretty cool.
Patrick, thank you for the $5 super chat. Please review Venom 2 before 3, because it'd be weird you would only review Venom 1 and 3, but not 2.
I think I did like just a little vlog or something like that of it. Yeah, I guess I never did NC. I don't know. It's weird. Whenever I think of like, I'm sure I've had worse reviews. Don't get me wrong, but it's like whenever I think of like just a review I don't like that didn't turn out at all how I wanted. Venom is one of them.
Oh, interesting.
I did not. I was trying something different with the editing, and I was trying to make it tighter because I'm like, well, everything's faster in comedy. It's always better faster. So let me try it that way. But I didn't write it that way, so the timing is really off. And I think the points I was trying to get across and the way I was trying to get across, like combined with Spider-Verse, I thought this is going to be so cool and such an original idea, and it just didn't work. So kind of like Venom, the more I think about it. So yeah, I always kind of associate with like just kind of a bad experience. Like making it was fine, but like I didn't like the final product on it. So I guess a part of me just stays away from them with the NC. But also I don't get into those movies. I don't find them interesting. I think they're very dull. I don't like them as a buddy, goofy comedy. Man, didn't anyone playing that new Spider-Man game, weren't you looking at that and being like, oh, this is the Venom movie we could have gotten. But instead, oh, wacky, goofy. It's like, no, come on, be Venom. Be a Venom movie. So, yeah, I don't know. It's more, it's more frustrating in just a frustrating way than a funny way, if that makes sense.
John, thank you for the $10 super chat. Random fact, the co-screenwriter of Inside Out 2 is actually the creator of the Showtime original Kidding, starring Jim Carrey. The short-lived show taps into similar themes of childhood psychology.
Okay, that's just giving me giving me more hope. The only thing that concerns me a little bit is that Pete Docter's not back to direct it, but there's still plenty of talent at Pixar, and like I said, it's such a good idea. So, oh man, I'm hoping this is the thing that breaks Disney out of its funk. You know what I mean? Like this is what brings them back. This is the beginning. You know what I mean?
Jimmy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Which Star Wars villain is better, Darth Maul from Clone Wars or Trilla from Fallen Order, two Shakespearean monsters betrayed by their mentors?
Man, we said Darth Maul. I'm like, oh, easy. It's like from Clone Wars. Damn it. Man, that's rough. I think I gotta go with Trilla because
Trilla. No.
Trilla, like I said, legit, like scared me a little bit when she took off that helmet. Just those piercing eyes. Like I said, I just feel like, oh, this is what like a lot of people felt when they first saw like Bela Lugosi as Dracula. Like, whoa, what are those eyes doing to me? They ask, or like Hannibal Lecter or something like that. Like, I don't know. I never quite had that character that did that to me. Like, just the eyes were like looking into my soul, and that was the character I'm just like, I don't like. I mean, it's like good, but it's like I'm uncomfortable watching this character. So yeah, like she was legit pretty scary. Where Darth Maul is like a great character, but like he never scared me. Like Trilla legit kind of scared me.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. When Endgame came out, some people didn't like how Thor was handled. I honestly like how they did it because I still found him funny, and the way he acts is how some people act when they're dealing with grief. What are your thoughts?
I didn't get into it too much. It is funny. Like when you first see him, you know, it's pretty funny. I give him credit for trying something different with it, especially in, you know, like the big, it's Endgame, you know, we're going to do this with Thor. It's like, okay, that's, you know, that's taking a risk. And I hear it happened in the comics, you know, so I'm sure they're making comic book fans happy. I don't know. It was just odd to me. And I thought kind of the subplot with him seeing his mother and stuff. Again, I'm feeling like I should be feeling something here, but I'm just not. It still felt too jokey and weird for me. So I don't know. It wasn't my thing, but I see why other people got into it.
We're going to have to pick up the pace a little bit. We're still an hour behind.
Gotcha.
Darth, thank you for the 500 bits. Which Disney movie do you want to see a sequel to?
I love to see a remake and then a sequel to Black Cauldron and do it more like the books. I think that'd be cool.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Which Disney park would you visit if you could?
I guess I haven't gone to like, you know, any of the Euro Disney ones or like the
Tokyo Disney.
Tokyo Disney. Yeah. Well, just looking at the layout for what they did with that was so unique. I think I saw it in one of the Imagineering shows, and it looked really, really unique. So probably that one.
Haunted Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. Loved your Rob Zombie cosplay on Smiling Friends. I'm trying to decide my next screenplay. Should I make Aliens versus Channel Awesome or Devil Boner versus Predator?
Listen to your heart.
Great. Headshot, thank you for the $5 super chat. During the It reviews, how was it to be the NC and both Pennywise in the same room? Also, waha, waha.
It was fun. It was fun trying to figure out the Tim Curry voice because it's like, you know, his voice is a little bit more like this. But when I do the impression, I do it like this. So I'm like, all right, I'll just do the crazy over the top impression.
Sean, thank you for the $10 super chat. I know you said you lost interest, but you should check out The Bear 1989. It's one of the movies where there's little dialogue, real-life animal performances, and beautiful scenery. You would like that one.
I think you're right. I should check it out. It's not a bad idea.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen the Looney Tunes movie Rabbit's Run?
Yeah. It was all right. I kind of thought it'd be funnier, especially one focusing on that version of Lola that I think is so funny. But it was just okay.
Dante, thank you for the 50-month subscription over on Twitch. Really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. The Spur, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, what is one movie that you hate that you've changed your mind about?
Matilda, I used to really not like. I changed my mind on that. I did just see one we're reviewing right now where when I first saw it, I think I gave it a negative review. And now that I'm watching it again, I'm like, no, I think this is good. This actually is a good movie. And you'll have to wait and see what it is.
Easy, thank you for the $5 super chat. In your opinion, what the two best male and female voice acting roles you've ever seen in an animated film production and why?
Oh man. Maybe because they accompanied so well with the animation, but I do think of Ray Fiennes in Prince of Egypt. I just think of that scene where he's looking at the ring and that animation. Where he even said, I think he said, I don't think you're going to be able to animate this. I don't think you're going to be able to capture they did beautifully. For female, trying to think. Man, there's like so many I'd have to like go through. Man, what was it, movies or shows?
Just acting roles.
Acting roles.
I mean, you came up with a male one, and we are behind. So
yeah, let's just do that. Maybe I'll look it up as we go to the next one.
Carter, thank you for the $2 super chat. Skinny, thank you for the $10 super chat. I experienced my very own Mandela effect when I realized the NC review of True Lies never existed. Despite the fact that I've had very vivid memories of his existence, would you consider reviewing it?
I mean, like I don't think I could bring like that much new to it. So probably not, but it's a good movie.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. One of my favorite robot learning emotions is in a show called Symbionic Titan. In one episode, the robot, who is played by Brian Posen, has a great speech about how weird it is to have feelings and wonders if he is both a man and a machine or neither.
I think somebody brought that up before. It did sound interesting. I'll try to check it out. I finally found one in Batman the Animated Series, the Baby Doll episode. I thought that voice acting with her going back and forth between the little cutie voice and then like being herself and having a mental breakdown. So good, so good.
Peter, thank you for the $20 super chat. Who are two actors you wish could do a movie together that never have? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I always thought Robin Williams and Jim Carrey could have made a bonkers movie seeing their comedy clash. R.I.P. Robin.
I thought that too, and I don't know. I don't know if it's one of those things where, because they tried to with Billy Crystal and Robin Williams and it didn't work. And I have kind of the same theory of like, maybe they're just too big and too silly, but also maybe a little too different. They wouldn't go together. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to see that too. So I'm kind of with you.
Queen Calificent, thank you for the 500 bits. Alan is not scary. Now its sequel, Alan's, that's terrifying. You never let me live that down, chat. Never let me relive the day that I asked about Alan Romulus. Jeremy, thank you for the $5 super chat. I'm hoping this question won't be a downer, but do you think that where the fair use made a significant difference? The hashtag WTFU.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes and no. It got people looking at it. It got people talking. It did do a couple changes. You know, they did change a few things, you know, which is good. But I think like anything, it depends how harshly they stick to it, and also just more problems that pop up. I think that's the biggest thing, and that's where it's kind of, you know, falling behind. But again, I don't even know how many people knew what fair use was, you know, before we drew attention to it. So yeah, I still see it as a really good thing.
Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. Saw Kingdom Planet of the Apes, my theory. This film series is going to end where the OG films began, but with time travel, sending someone in space and the cure forward in time accidentally. Thoughts?
Maybe. I mean, that's the thing. I can't tell if it's like, it kind of seemed like they were doing their own things because the timeline does change from those movies. So I don't know. I'd be shocked if they did that.
Ginger, thank you for the $2 super chat. Carter, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, have you ever considered The Invasion from 2007 for Nostalgia-ween? Considered worst Body Snatchers remakes. Also review James Bond.
I like James Bond. I'm not a super fan. I think watch Cinema Snob. He reviews them more in great detail, and he's a super fan. I don't think I saw Invasion. I should check it out. I saw the original, obviously, but yeah, I don't think I saw that version.
Matthew, thank you for the $5 super chat. Would you ever do a review of The Croods? Good animation, several heartfelt moments, and Nick Cage as a caveman. What more do you need?
I should, because I actually haven't seen that one. I've seen just about all the DreamWorks movies, but I haven't seen that one. So I'll try to check it out.
Sean, thank you for the $10 super chat. Thoughts on Jim from Edward Scissorhands? He took me out of the movie, even as a bad guy. All he did was push Edward and yell at people. I need my villains to more than just bully loudmouths.
I get that. I do. And that was actually a big problem with a lot of critics around that character. I think just as an archetype, I mean, they already have so many suburban archetypes there. So I feel like working with it worked out just well enough, in my opinion. Like he was just believable enough. I do like his performance, but I get what you're saying.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And Wolfwalkers, what do you think of the friendship between the main characters?
Oh, great! I think that's like the strength of the movie. On top of the animation.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen Jonah Hex? Good Things, Josh Brolin. That's it.
No, I heard it's not good. Josh Brolin's always good, but I heard the movie's not good.
Skinny, thank you for the $5 super chat. What did your dad think of your dead mother joke in the Land Before Time review?
Oh, I don't know if he saw it.
Oh, really?
I'll say this, like he probably makes less of them, but like we'll make them every once in a while. Like he'll laugh and stuff like that. I mean, we got dark, twisted senses of humor.
Maryland Wolves, thank you for the $5 super chat. Best voice acting performance for Joker that is not Mark Hamill. My pick would be Kevin Michael Richardson or John DiMaggio.
Who's the one in Harley Quinn right now? Whoever's voicing him, maybe that's the guy. Or wait, is that Alan Tudyk doing that Joker?
I think that's Tudyk doing that Joker.
I like that one because it's kind of a combo of all the different Jokers, both being menacing but also pretty funny.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of the trope of an overprotective father who learns to let his children live their life and make their own decisions?
Overdone, but again, it can be done well. Like Finding Nemo did it well, even though, again, it was pretty obvious. It's not my favorite, but it can still be done pretty good.
Dennis, thank you for the $5 super chat. Did you ever see Happy Time Murders?
No, I heard it was awful. And there was a part of me that kind of wants to see just how awful it is. So I will at some point.
Strider for Life, thank you for that 36-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. I saw Furiosa last night. It was entertaining, and Chris Hemsworth was a fun villain.
Yeah, I agree. It's gonna find its audience. I don't think it's gonna find it on the big screen, but it's definitely gonna get one over time.
Skinny, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, would you accept cameo requests for you to take off your shirt while making intense eye contact with the camera for charity?
Probably not. I'll say this, whenever I get one that's like, I can't do that or I can't say that, I always say I'll donate to the charity for you because I don't want the charity to miss out. But please feel free to send another one. So yeah, probably not.
Jacob, thank you for the $10 super chat. What's your guys' top 5 favorite Michael Jackson song if you guys listen to him? Maybe let's go with like top 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think Smooth Criminal, and then Thriller. Yeah, those are good.
Mitchell, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, have you seen the movie Roar? Roar, I don't know why I couldn't say that. 1981, stars Tippi Hedren from Hitchcock's The Birds. It's considered one of the most dangerous movies ever made. Roar.
No.
Roar. Like a lion's roar. The more I say it, the less it feels right.
No, I'll check it out.
John, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen the film The Legend of 1900? It has an excellent score by Ennio Morricone, composer of the Dollars trilogy and The Thing.
I never know how to say that guy. He's one of my favorite composers, and I never know how to say his name.
I don't.
No, I've never seen the movie. I will probably try to check out the soundtrack because, yes, he actually is one of my favorite composers, even though I can never say his name.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Ever seen the Digimon Tri movies and thoughts?
No, I think the amount of Digimon I've seen is like, I think I saw the first movie. I did a crossover and just the bit I edited for Fox Kids. That's about it.
Godzilla fan, thank you for the 500 bits. Killer Clowns or Attack of the Killer Tomatoes?
To make me choose, I gotta go with Killer Clowns because I do like the design of the clowns more.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. NC for Mighty Joe Young, Aquaman 2, Jungle Book 1994, Poltergeist, maybe for Nostalgiaween, War Games.
Poltergeist might be fun. That'd be an interesting one. The others I've done like Disney December's on, and I feel like it got my opinions out on those.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Was there a line that was in the trailer that you were mad wasn't in the movie? For me, in a commercial for Civil War, there was a moment where Cap said, "We used to be a family." I was so mad when that was not in the movie.
The Madam Web line that everyone memed to death and quoted to death. And it was so sad it wasn't actually in the film. Yeah, but it'll always live in our hearts.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. The Looney Tunes movie I mentioned is going to be released in theaters, and unlike Space Jam and Back in Action, will be fully animated.
Man, I mean, I hope it's good. I hope it does well. But what a weird choice. If I was a Warner Bros. Exec, I'd probably put more money on the Coyote movie.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Your guys' thoughts on the score for Castle in the Sky? It's probably my favorite score of the Ghibli movies. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, no, it's one. I mean, just about all the music for those movies is spectacular.
Empire fan, thank you for the $5 super chat. For Halloween this year, would you guys be open to reviewing and first viewing Tower of Terror? I like this movie and it took me years to find it.
I did a Disney-cember on it. I don't know if I could do an NC on it, but the Disney-cember goes in all the details about. I loved it. I actually really thought it was good.
I loved it too when I was a kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. What are your thoughts on the film In Her Shoes? I watched it recently and enjoyed the lead performances by Diaz, Collette, and McLean.
I don't think I've seen that one. Let me see. Yeah, no, I have never seen it. I'll try to check it out.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 500 bits. Doug, if you can, please at least give one episode of Fruits Basket a watch in the future. TMS did the animation for the reboot, and it's gorgeous, and almost the original cast of the English cast of the first adaptation came back to reprise their roles.
I'll try my best, but it's going to take time, man, because I already got so many other things to catch up on.
Kirok, thank you for that 40-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Really appreciate it. Hey, Doug, real quick, I have to work Tuesdays. Is there a way you can have your end of the month hangout? We can do it on Wednesdays. If not, I understand. No, we kind of just have it set for Tuesdays. I'm sorry. Yeah. Dennis, thank you for the $5 super chat. Is a review of the Sonic the Hedgehog movies as well as the series Knuckles on Paramount Plus in the cards?
I want to wait for all the movies to come out. You know, they might just do a trilogy, especially if Carrie's only going to do one more. Knuckles, I haven't seen. I don't know if it's going to come to Blu-ray, so probably not. But the movies I'd like to do.
Carter, thank you for the $1 super chat. Carter, thank you for the $2 super chat. Blake the Nothing, thank you for that 36-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. 3 years. Doug, I've been watching NC Weekly since the Moonwalker review. Your videos have always been like a comfort food for me. That said, Heather, this Twitch channel would be nothing without you. Thank you to CA for all of the years of entertainment.
She is the Twitch queen. Here's the crown. Giving you the crown.
Thank you. Ruben, thank you for the $5 super chat. Me and my friends saw RRR the other day and lost our minds. What was your favorite kill in the film? Mine's gotta be the animal spree.
Yeah, just that shot when he launches out and the animals come out at the same time is so amazing. So good. I gotta see it again.
Mouse Queen, thank you for the $5 super chat. Big love to you, Doug and Co. Been following because channel awesome for a hot minute. No real question, but keep doing what you do.
Keep watching. We'll keep doing it. Thank you so much.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In the first Shrek, while like you, I don't like the misunderstanding. I do like when Shrek and Donkey argue and Donkey said, that's what friends do. They forgive each other. I really like that line. What are your thoughts?
I feel like I've heard it before. Yeah, just that whole section didn't really do much for me. But I know it did a lot for a lot of people, so I get it.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the $5 super chat. What's your favorite comedy, Heather, what's your favorite celebrity cameo? That's nothing like a comedy. Brain. Celebrity cameo in a Muppet movie. For me, it's Mel Brooks as the evil scientist in the original Muppet movie.
Yeah, he's pretty great. I like Steve Martin in the original. I love, there's Kermit and Piggy sitting there and he's like, you know, oh, I see Miss Piggy. And he just like says, are you Miss Piggy? That just killed me. It's the only pig in the place.
Adam Gunther, thank you for the $5 super chat. How would you rank the Sony Spider-Man movies from least bad to absolute garbage? Venom, Venom 2, Morbius, and Madam Web.
Web is enjoyably the worst, if that makes sense. Then, in my opinion, probably, I don't know, what was it? Venom 2, and in my opinion, Morbius, because I thought it was okay.
Adam Gunther, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen the newest episode of Hell of a Boss? And if so, your thoughts?
No, not yet. I know it's out, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
Zicky, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Doug, first time donating. It's funny because I was thinking the same way about Darth Maul earlier. Love the content. Please carry it on.
Oh, thank you so much, and thank you for being a first-time donator. Yeah, I say it right.
Mhm. Adam Grunther, thank you for the $5 super chat. Overall, who was the best Spider-Man movie villain? Doc Ock, Vulture, Mysterio, No Way Home's Green Goblin, or The Spot?
uh, I like what they do with Green Goblin in No Way Home. I don't know. It's like the closest to getting like a real Green Goblin on the big screen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. Next week's sneak peek was easy. It's The Princess Bride. If it's not too late, please throw in some Once Upon a Deadpool jokes with adult Freddy Savage.
As you wish.
Ethan Co Entertainment, thank you for the $5 super chat. This is in all caps, so give me a second. Oh, how dare you stream? That's it. You are grounded for life. That means no YouTube, no McDonald's, and no Disney. Go to bed right now. All right, great chat. Now he's gone. Thank God. No, just kidding. Noah, thank you for the $10 super chat. Have you ever considered doing a review of Belle's Magical World or Cinderella 2, Dreams Come True, or The Little Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea, or The Jungle Book 2, or Hocus Pocus 2, or you know what, sequels? I think sequels.
I did Disney December on all of them. Well, Hocus Pocus, I think I did an Untitled review show, but yeah, you can see them there. They're not good.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Which Mario level in Mario 64 is the hardest that you ever played?
All of them. I don't like the game. I don't like it. I'm the a-hole that just never got into it. I was frozen
today.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Has Rob seen Barbie, Oppenheimer, or Boy in the Heron?
I don't think he saw the last one yet, but yeah, he liked Barbie and he really liked Oppenheimer a great deal.
Well, Rob hasn't seen Boy in the Heron yet?
I could be wrong. I don't think he has. I have to double check. Let me put it this way: if he did, it didn't like blow him away or anything. I think he just liked it fine. But I could be wrong. Maybe he hasn't seen it yet. I'll check with him.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Most quoted line and or favorite scene from Last Crusade?
Man, there's so many lines. I mean, we just quote it all the time. I don't know if I can choose. I'm blanking. It's like one of those, like, there's just so many. I'm just going through the whole script and I just can't.
Your brain automatically started you at the beginning and then is like,
yeah.
Well, now I got to go through all of it.
And okay, I know this isn't it, but just sometimes when like something crazy happens and we're playing a game, just we'll just say, those people are trying to kill us. I know, Dad. Or when my dad says something that's like really obvious, we'll just do that. We'll just be like, I know, Dad.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Fun fact about Finding Nemo: at first the opening scene didn't exist, and we would later find out what happened to Nemo's mother in a flashback. They changed it because with that scene at the beginning, Marlin came across as an unlikable helicopter parent.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I can see that. That was a good change. You're right, because I'm like, oh, that would have been interesting. But you're right. If they did go that way, he'd be too annoying. Yeah, it's a good point.
Ronnie, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Doug, random way to show my thanks in barely words, but when I lived in my car and life sucked more, your vlogs kept me alive. So I always wonder, when you were an illustrator, what made you take a risk?
I mean, I'll be honest, I was living with my folks. I had that safety net. Not everybody has that. I'm very thankful for that, but I was saving up, like money to get my own place. I mean, everything was like, I want to get out of here. I want to be on my own. I want to be independent and everything. So when the YouTube stuff did start to take off, that was in some way a little bit more of a risk, but it was making more money. So I was like, all right, well, let's try it. And eventually, obviously, it blew up and everything. But yeah, I knew I had to do something in the creative field. I just had to try it. I would go bonkers if I didn't at least try it. With that said, I hope everything's going, well for you. And thank you so much for the kind words.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 500 bits. Do you two have a favorite instrumental piece / soundtrack of all time? Favorite composers? Mine are John Williams, Joe Hisaishi, Yoko Kanno, etc. I also love Yoko Kanno, Sailor Aaron. Love her stuff.
Yeah, Hans Zimmer, Danny Elfman, Shirley Walker. Those are all pretty good. And man, like favorite one, I don't know. Anything with a choir, I'm kind of a sucker for. That's why I like, like Shirley Walker. Like Hunt for Red October and Conan both have these big epic choir soundtracks, and those are really great. And they're by the same composer, Basil. This something like that. I can't remember his name, but
No, it's now forever.
But yeah, no, amazing soundtracks.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. My favorite scene in Shawshank is after Red gets released and finds Andy's letter. What do you think of that scene?
Oh, it's very good. I mean, I feel like that last chunk just plays out exactly how you want it to play out. Like, it's a touch corny, but because it's over a very long time span, it doesn't feel too forced or schmaltzy. It feels really genuine and heartfelt.
Dennis, thank you for the $10 super chat. My last question, did you ever see Final Fantasy VII Advent Children Complete? Is a review possible?
Years ago, I saw it, and I barely remember a thing about it because I didn't know any of the characters or anything. So if anyone's like, "Oh, he saw the movie, he must know some of the surprises or some of the whatever," and it's like, I don't remember a thing except Sephiroth. That's all I remember. And review maybe after I do the games, maybe.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. John Cena is going to play John Connor in the new Terminator movie.
Really? I don't know. You know what? Stranger things have happened. That wouldn't shock me.
Arthur, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, would you watch a Country Bears remake if they brought back Christopher Walken to voice a bear?
I'm one of the few weirdos that kind of thought the movie was fun. I had a good time with it. So, yeah, I'd watch it.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Finding Dory, what did you think of Ed O'Neill as Hank the Octopus?
Oh, he was good. I thought he had a fun story he was going through, fun journey and everything. Yeah, no, good character.
Skinny, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, how did you meet your wife, and will she ever make a cameo in your reviews?
So her voice has made a cameo once or twice. Every once in a while, I say she has a Lucy moment where she'll do like the "I want to be in the show" kind of thing, but it's very rare. So, oh, actually, I take it back. Anytime a hand has to slap me, I always call her in to do that, which surprisingly does happen quite a bit. And she's always excited for that. And we met at a New Year's party.
Aw. Sailor Aaron, thank you for gifting that sub over on Twitch. Really appreciate that. Thank you. All right, we have 5 minutes for some highlights and some other random questions here. Just kidding. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In the Country Bears review, I was surprised you didn't like the songs. I think they're very catchy.
I'm not a big country music guy. That's part of it. I will say this. When I went to Tennessee, it did kind of make me a believer. I was like, okay, hearing this live, like downtown and everything, Nashville and stuff like that, like that can change your mind a little bit.
Bub on YouTube asks, could you bring back Rachel Teets for a musical review? Have her cast as Brooke Shields and have her sing "You're the Only One" and "You Door Was Locked" to Chaplin.
Very specific. I'll look into it.
Nintenga over on Twitch says, remember last week's "so bad it's good and so good it's bad" based question? That was probably too easy. So let's flip the script. Okay. Does there exist a movie for you that's so good it's bad? Oh goodness, these words confuse me. So good it's bad that it becomes so bad it's good.
No.
Okay.
It just doesn't exist. That's just good.
Great.
Or it's just bad.
Great. Fantastic. Ronnie, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thanks, Doug. That answered low-key felt like when Kid Bojack heard the TV message from Secret Tarrate lol. But did you have any plan B? Because no one had your luck.
Like for what?
For animation, did you have a plan B if you couldn't get into animating?
You mean into YouTubing or?
No, they were the one who asked earlier about what made you take the risk to do illustration full time?
Yeah.
Okay, so did you have a plan B in case illustration didn't work out?
Gotcha, illustration. Yeah, I mean, I would just get other boring jobs, just some whatever. I mean, see if I could put my kind of useless degree. I got a degree in communications, which looks nice on a resume, but it doesn't guarantee, a job anywhere. Yeah, I didn't know. I did illustration for like half a year, I think, at that point, and I was doing okay. Doing okay jobs, and like I said, getting some steady pay out of it. But yeah, like I said, the YouTube thing just took off a lot more. But yeah, if not, just do the normal, boring, office job route.
Game Fan over on Twitch says, will this year's Disney-cember theme be about the modern animated Disney cartoons?
No, it's probably going to be, I'll just say it's probably Miramax is what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm like, let's just lean into it. Let's get Pulp Fiction with a little Disney-cember there. Let's get Clerks with a little Disney-cember. Let's just lean hard into it.
Fire Tower, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen Shin Kamen Rider on Prime Video? If not, I'll ask again next month.
It's going to be a while, man. I mean, I'll just tell you, it's very unlikely I'm going to get around to it because there's already so many things I have to watch. And I'm sure it's good. It just doesn't interest me as much as like the bajillion other things I have to watch. So it's very unlikely.
Lazy Bones, thank you for the $2 super chat. Can you review Faust, Love the Damned?
A review? Probably not, but it's a very good movie. Very, very haunting in many respects.
Ronnie, thank you for the $2 super chat. I was right, you were wrong, Doug. I meant in Nostalgia Critic, like if there was a plan B if Nostalgia Critic didn't work out.
Just go back to illustration. I mean, at this point, man, if I had to go that route back into illustration, I'd just be like, how do I don't know how to use a pad, or like any of the latest technology. I mean, I know how to use Photoshop, but that's about it. So yeah, I would be very, very behind on that.
Nate's, thank you for the $5 super chat. If Rob got attacked by a demon vampire, would you him in to date him, or has he lived long enough?
I think you know the answer.
Yeah, he's lived long enough, you'd kill him? No.
I don't even know what that question is.
Amazing. Great. All right. Well, that does bring us to 8 o'clock, and confusion is the name of the game here anyway. No, just kidding. But thank you all so much, as usual, for joining us here tonight. We super, super appreciate you. If you are on YouTube, we will see you again next week, but you can also come hang out on Twitch, where we normally have content 5 days a week. The schedule's been a little willy-nilly the past couple of weeks, but things should be coming back to normal there. So join us and hang out on Twitch, twitch.tv/channelawesome. Also on Twitch, we are going over to raid Tamara, who is live right now. So we're going to go do that. Fantastic. I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your evening. And yeah, we'll see you all next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.